Good afternoon, everybody. Keith Angle here for TGI Sports Talk's Major League Baseball update. How's everybody doing today? I was hoping to get on a little bit earlier, and I apologize for not being able to do so. We're still looking for a permanent home. You guys are hearing me. Permanent home for this show. It's hard. Friday afternoons are tough, and we're trying to figure out when we're going to do the Let's Talk New York Sports Show live, which will be live today at 5 o'clock, by the way. Dan Harris will be back joining me, and I will become a co-host again, at least for a week, as we try to find a home for that as well when Dan can do it, and I can fit it into my schedule as well. So we'll figure that out going forward, as we do want to do the show with Dan, as it's a much better show with the two of us than just having to listen to me drone on. What's going on in Major League Baseball? Oh, lots of good stuff. Lots of bad stuff. Let's take a quick look. WBC, by the way, underway. And I think it's a great tournament. As I've said many times at WBC, there's some interesting developments already. The Netherlands, I know, off to a great start. USA, I think it started today. I want to find, I had the schedule up and I don't have it in front of me right now, but I plan to have it, and we'll talk more. And I want to talk about your comments too. So, or your topics, anything you guys want to chat about regarding Major League Baseball, we'll get into in the next hour. Augustin, how are you? Good to have you with us. Haven't seen you in a little bit. But I'm happy to have you with us. What do we want to talk about here? WBC. Let me get into the WBC a little bit. There it is. All right. Ohtani's carrying Japan as Japan gets off to a great start too, by the way. And I think the USA, as I said, is going to be off to their start today. Fox is carrying all these games. Fox FS1, Fox main broadcasting network is carrying a lot of them as well. So keep an eye on this. This is good baseball, guys. Listen, I don't want to say anything against Major League Baseball exhibition games, but the point is they don't mean anything. Good to have you with us, Augustin. You know, I know they mean something for people fighting for jobs. I apologize for the cough button, which you'll get a few times this hour because I'm still struggling here. Anyway, let's get into this a little bit if I can. Oh boy. I thought I had this all freaking straightened out and I just don't. Damn it. I apologize. Listen, I know the Netherlands, by the way, Netherlands have Xander Bogart playing shortstop, and some other pretty good players. Bert Blyleven, former, Hall of Fame Major League pitcher, and somebody I'm trying to get on my interview show, is a pitching coach for the Netherlands, and they're doing very, very, very well. Off to a good start, beating Cuba, beating Panama. So they're playing very good baseball. Oh, God, I'm telling you, I'm having a tough time with it. Anyway, let's get back to topics. Augustin, I don't know who your Major League Baseball team is, by the way. Let's take a quick look at some news around Major League Baseball. Then we'll dive into WBC and talk about any topics you want to get into. As I said, please bring up your topics, and it helps me carry this show along. So the Marlins have added Yuli Gurriel and Jose Iglesias to minor league deals recently. They need bodies. As I said before, Ohtani has 2 more hits as Japan gets a WBC win yesterday over South Korea, 13-4. They're playing very, very well in the early stages of this. Phillies pitching prospect Andrew Painter has a UCL sprain, which is going to set him back. With talking about the Phillies, there's also some question about whether, and Bryce Harper brought this up himself, whether he's going to be able to play in the field at all in 2023 after his shoulder surgery last year, or arm surgery last year. We'll see how that goes. Padres right-hander Michael Wacha threw 3 innings in his debut here this week. Another signing by the Padres. who continue to bring them in. Retired All-Star Albert Pujols has talked about the possibility of coaching as his career has ended, as we say. So Phillies star slugger Bryce Harper has joined his teammates at spring training and hasn't ruled out being back by the All-Star break following Tommy John surgery. So he's not even going to play. He hurt himself last April, played right field in Miami last year, April 16th, underwent surgery in November. And he's going to be out until at least the All-Star break and probably unable to play in the field all year. This is not going to help the Phillies' chances, guys. Just not going to help the Phillies' chances. What else we have in Major League Baseball? I had some other news here. Yankees. The injuries are catching up with the Yankees already. I talked about the Carlos Rondon trade here and other places that I was not happy with this trade. And, the fact that he has, he's had a couple of great seasons. I'm not saying he didn't pitch well in San Francisco, but prior to that in Chicago, he was injury prone. He was inconsistent. And I don't know how he's going to do in this market, as far as dealing with the market to begin with. And I was worried about his health. And already he's been shut down. He's going to miss the start of the season. Harrison Bader's now expected to start the season, but he's hurt, banged up. Who else got hurt? Tommy Canley got hurt already for the Yankees, so that's going to cause them to be held up a little bit. So the Yankees, starting off, I mean, there's some good news in camp with the Yankees. I mean, Anthony Volpe is playing very well at shortstop, and by all accounts, it's still a competition with him and Peraza and even Kiner Falefa, but Volpe is maybe in the lead. Now, the big thing is whether the Yankees will send him down to try to protect service time. Don't know what the situation is there, but we see this all the time with Major League Baseball teams. To me, in the best case scenario is Volpe can play shortstop and Peraza can play third base. I don't know whether he's got experience at third base, but the Yankees have to do something as they've got a gaping hole with Josh Donaldson over there. His glove is still okay, but his bat is done. And he's not a guy. He's going to start the season most likely at third base. DJ playing second base. One of the kids playing shortstop. And Donaldson probably is going to get off to a bad start and be on the pine, and he's not going to deal with that well. I don't think this is a guy you want sitting on your bench. He's not that type of player. So anyway, there's some good news. Torres avoided arbitration, signed a new contract. DJ's healthy. Orlando Cabrera, or Oswaldo Cabrera, excuse me, playing center field for the first time the other day with a great diving catch. I think this is a guy you're going to see play all over the field. Now, he might win the left field job. I mean, I would certainly take him over Aaron Hicks. Again, starting the season with Hicks and Donaldson again in left field and third base, just not acceptable to me. Clark Schmidt for the Yankees was going to get a start, I think today, his first start of the spring, and it's going to be very important because you're going to need Clark Schmidt. If Rondon's not starting the season, they need Clark Schmidt to be able to step up probably and be able to start. That's going to give you, he'll be the fifth starter most likely as the season begins. And, who knows with the health of these guys. Garrett Cole's the only guy, and I guess Chavez as well. I guess it hasn't got injury issues, right? But Severino could go down at any time. Herman has had some issues with overwork at times. Clark Schmidt is probably going to be a very valuable piece to this rotation, whether he's in it full-time or part-time going forward. What other news came out here? Oh, Justin Turner got just a nasty beating the other day. He's being monitored for concussion now, and he was bleeding. He got hit in the face. If you didn't see it, it was hard to watch. He was struck on the fourth pitch of his at bat in the first inning by starter Matt Manning of the Tigers. He fell to the ground immediately, began bleeding. He did walk off the field under his own power, but this thing got him flush in the face. Didn't catch the helmet. It didn't look like even at all. So they'll monitor him. Red Sox 9-0. To tell you how little spring training games mean, the Red Sox are a universal pick to finish last in the American League East. Their 9-0 is not representative of what this team is going to do this year. To me, spring training games are good for one thing, and that's, watching kids that you're seeing how the kids develop and also, position battles maybe. But otherwise, I don't get the point, so I don't, what are you going to do? I want to get I need to get to the WBC tournament stuff. WBC standings. Let's do that. I want to get into the WBC. If you guys aren't here, I'll do my own thing here. Just kidding. Right now, in the Pool A, you've got in the pool play, you've got Netherlands 2-0, Chinese Taipei 1-1, a little bit of a surprise as well. Italy 1-1, Cuba 1-2, and Panama 1-2. Those are surprises at the bottom and the top for me. Japan, this is Pool B. Japan's 2-0. Australia is 1-0. The Czech Republic, a little bit surprising, 1-0. China 0-2. Korea 0-2. Korea's 0-2 is a bit surprising for this reporter. And pools C and D will start play, I think, let's see. They'll start play today. Nope, tomorrow, March 11th through the 15th. The USA will debut tomorrow. There'll be a lot of games on Fox and Fox Sports 1 tomorrow. If you want to get your fill of baseball, the Pool C that the USA is in with Mexico, Colombia, Canada, and Great Britain. Mexico and Canada will be the two major challenges to the USA and their pool. And Pool D is just loaded with Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican, even Israel, and then Nicaragua. These would be played in Phoenix. Pool C, where the USA is, would be played in Phoenix. And Pool D will be played in Miami. These other pools are being played out of the country. Pool A is in Taiwan, and Pool B is in Japan. The quarterfinals for the first side of this bracket, which is Pool A and Pool B, will be in Tokyo. Those games will start March 15th. And the semifinal, and the quarterfinals on the other side, Pool C and Pool D, which I just mentioned, will stay in Miami and be played on March 17th. And then the semifinals will be in Miami, and the finals will be in Miami. So USA trying to defend their championship, and good luck to them because it's going to be tough going here for these teams. What else we got? I know I want to get into some other stuff here. Who are some teams? Let me check. Let me just check. We talked about Justin Turner. It's tough. That's why we got to find a home for the show where we have a really good live viewership, because if you know anything about my shows, I play off the comments, and I love to get into a back and forth with people. So some other stuff going on. We talked about Bryce Harper. Freddie Freeman, by the way, playing in a Canadian squad in the WBC. He's talked a little bit this week about Dansby Swanson's transition to the Cubs. He thinks that'll be a winner for the Cubs, but we'll see how that plays out. I'm not really a big fan of what the Cubs have done this year. I interviewed comedian Tom Dressen a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to get a feel. He's a lifelong Cub fan, huge Cub fan, huge Chicago sports fan. We talked a lot about the Cubs, in his lifetime, but we didn't get a chance to talk about this year's team. And I'm going to get Tom on one of my shows and ask him, do you think this team is really built to win this year? I don't like what they've done about putting this team together. If you're a Chicago fan and you can defend what they've done here, well, then God bless you, because I can't figure out a way to do it. Dansby Swanson's the only move I can tell you was a good move by this franchise. I don't know what they're doing outside of that. Let me just take a quick look at the Cubbies again. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I'm out to lunch here. I don't know. But how do I get into the NFL? That's not going to do me much good, is it? Let's take a quick look at the Cubs depth chart, shall we? We'll start picking in these. Sorry. Hey, Rick, how are you, buddy? Good to have you with us. Sorry to hear you. Listen, you and I both won't be at the draft tomorrow. I'm going to have to do it remotely because I have not recovered from whatever I'm suffering from. I'm about 50% maybe now, which is about 100% better than I was the rest of the week. Listen, I really appreciate the kind mention there, Rick, as far as the interviewing goes. I have a lot of fun doing it. You mentioned in one of the comments the look on my face when I was talking with Tom Dreesen, and he was just fun to talk to. And I find all these guys fun to talk to. I was disappointed, as sick as I was, that my interview this week with Jim Kern didn't come off. We'll get it caught up next week, probably one night, and we'll play it for you guys here in the next couple of weeks. I'll have Kermit Washington next week as well. As I mentioned previously, we'll have Chuck Foreman this month. We've got Matt Robinson, former Georgia and Jets Browns quarterback. So we'll talk to him this month as well. So we got some pretty good interviews, and Dan's working on some other people that I've given him that I've had. Same perf math. Some perf math. Oh, God. Listen, my perf math is just ridiculous, right? Anyway, I got to talk with somebody about the Cubs the other day, and I'm going to get Tom back on because I didn't get a chance to ask him about this year. You tell me if a team with Marcus Stroman as your number one starter is going anywhere in the NL Central. I mean, Jameson Taillon, who pitched for the Yankees last year, who, listen, if he stays healthy, he's a decent pitcher. He'll eat some innings up. He's not going to set the world on fire. That's your number two starter. Your other starters are Justin Steele, Kyle Hendricks, who's a nice pitcher, good spot in the fourth spot, and Drew Smyly. The closer's Brandon Hughes. Your catcher's Tucker Bernhardt. Eric Hosner, his best days are long behind him at shortstop. I'm sorry, first base, sorry. Nico Horner at second base. Dansby Swanson, the only signing they made this year that I would say was a smart move, but they've got nothing to play around him. Third baseman Patrick Wisdom. Ian Happ I like a lot. I wanted the Yankees to get him in here to play left field for the Yankees. He'll be the starter in left field. Cody Bellinger. I keep hearing guys like, oh my God, the LA hater Mark Mancini telling me that the Dodgers are going to win 70 games and Cody Bellinger for the Cubs is going to be the MVP of the National League. I got to get whatever he's smoking, man. Suzuki, the right fielder from Japan, had a decent rookie year last year. Again, is he going to be the next coming of Suzuki or Hideki Matsui? It's still to be determined. And then Trey Mancini's their DH. This is not what I would call an overwhelming roster that the Cubs have put together here. So, Cub fans, if you're getting excited, I'm not sure what about. So, guys who are with us here today, welcome. I'm glad you're with us. Sorry about the voice, and still struggling here with an upper respiratory infection, which started as a sinus infection, went into my ear, went into my chest, and it's been hanging on 2 full weeks now, a little more than 2 weeks. And I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, as they say. So we wanted to get our shows in today. 5 o'clock today, we'll be live with Let's Talk New York Sports, and Dan Harris will be back with me, and I'm happy about that. And any topics you want to talk about in Major League Baseball right now, throw them out there. I've talked about the WCBC a little bit. I've talked about a little bit of the news around Major League Baseball right now, the Yankees injury issues. Listen, I'm a Yankee fan, as you can tell, and this team won't be worse than last year, but right now I don't have any I'm having a hard time getting excited this team is going to get by anybody in the playoffs. Playoffs? Had to do it. Sorry. We got problems at left field yet. We got problems at third base. We already got Rondon hurt. I'm sure we'll talk about that with Dan today. There's Dan Harris. Speaking of him, good to have you with us. Baseball season is almost here. Everyone, please check out TGI Sports Talk. Thank you, Dan. And check it out on Let's Talk Sports as well, as we simulcast all of our content now on Let's Talk Sports, as well as Northeast Streaming Sports. Some of this content is exclusive to Let's Talk Sports, like this Major League Baseball update that will certainly have more content as the season goes on. And my interview show is also definitely exclusive and will continue to be. We do share it to the groups, but when we go live for the first time and debut an interview, it'll be on TGI Sports Talk and Let's Talk Sports only. And Dan's doing a good job lining up some of these guests that it's been hard for me to track down, but I've got dozens and dozens of names for him that I want to talk to, and he's doing a good job so far. And I could expect that to continue as well. So thank you, Dan, for that. What else is going on here? Let's see. Here's what's funny. We're talking about the WBC. So the Athletic has got a ranking of their uniforms. Number one, I wish I could show this. Can I get this up on? Let me see if I can do this. This might be fun to kind of go through and do something a little different here. Hang on a second. Let me just see if I can load up. Load them up. There we go. I might be able to do this. Ha-ha. I'm going to do something fun here. Let's see. Share screen. The Athletic. All right, let's see what we got here. Put this in there. Check this out. Let's see if we can scroll through here. We're gonna rank the uniforms. This is one of the big stories in the Athletic today, so you can see that things are not heating up yet, even in the World Baseball Classic or in the world of baseball. The number one uniform, Mexico. It's understated and simple, which I like. I like the button-up shirts. Interesting look. I like the color scheme. I like the green with the red, the green belt. Kind of cool. Not a bad uniform to kind of look at. Here's the different uniforms that they will wear during this tournament. You've got the white with the green. You've got the red with the green. Kind of cool. I kind of like that red with the green. Interesting look. I like the button-up shirts. And let's see what else we got. Australia's number 2. Look at these uniforms. There's a sharp-looking uniforms. I like the hat. I like the, I like the simple Australia across the front. Kind of cool. Number 3, Japan. Not in love with this. Always like pinstripes, but multicolor pinstripes I'm not a fan of. A lot going on this jersey. I can't really say I love this look. And I would say that this is Yu Darvish that we're looking at here. And Japan, by the way, as we said, 2-0 already in the WBC. China, I don't think this is a bad look, to be honest with you. Let's see if we can get a better look at this uniform. I like the hat. Hard to get excited for the Chinese in the world we live in today. There's a little better look at the uniform. Again, simple. China across the front. I like the color scheme, the yellow and the red. Well, they're their national colors. The Netherlands, by the way, I think this is right now, so far, this is my favorite uniform. I like the Netherlands with the pinstripe, the solid pinstripe look, the number on the jersey. Again, simple, understated. This looks like Xander Bogaerts right here. The helmet and the hat logo is kind of interesting. I like these uniforms a lot. Listen, I think the Netherlands is probably my second favorite team in this tournament outside of obviously the home country, the USA. Probably because I'm trying to get Bert Blyleven to be an interview guest, and I'm just kissing up. So the Dominican Republic, always like the interlocking letters on a cap. So that's a good look, although it does seem backwards to me. It seems like the D should be on top of the R. But I like the blue and the red. I'm always a fan of multicolored hats. I like that. I got my favorite Patriot hats have the blue top and the red bill. So that's a good look right there. I had too much going on the jersey, though. Too much, Dominica, the big letters into the little letters, and the Republic. A lot going on. The flags on the uniforms I like. Maybe smaller. Like the colored belts. Venezuela, can't do it, man. There's just way too much going on here. Way too many colors. Yikes. I mean, this looks like my prism exploded or something. Not a fan. Excuse me. Colombia. Yeah, they're all right too. Panama, way too big a lettering on the jerseys. I don't like the white front of the hat, the dark back. Not a big fan. Too big a lettering. This is the big thing, my big problem. Panama. Yeah, I don't mind the color scheme. I like this color scheme better. You see, again, the solid black and the red bill. I kind of like it. It hurt me to believe I'm having this conversation for this long on uniforms. The Czech Republic, can't do it. They're a surprise tournament. They've only got one win under their belt, but even a win for them is good. They have not made this tournament before that I can remember. Not a big fan of this uniform, though. Korea. Simple. This isn't a bad looking uniform, actually. Maybe a lettering a little big, but you got to have it there. I kind of like the way they got the stripes on the jersey. I love the logo here on the helmet and the hat. That's a good looking logo. This is not a bad looking uniform for me. Reminds me a little of some uniforms the Braves wore in the 70s. Chinese Taipei, simple. Can't get excited. Israel, this is just a bad color scheme for me. The blue's too light into the white. I'm shocked. Canada, not too bad. I mean, again, I don't like this collar here. Their logo's kind of sharp on the helmet. Again, the two-toned helmet I like. Simple Canada and the number on the jersey. I like that look. Just don't like this collar. And as I said, don't forget Freddie Freeman playing with the Canadian team this year. USA, what's not to like? This is a little much on the logo, I think. I mean, I like what they tried to do with the interlocking letters, but who is this? Is this Mark DeRosa? Mark DeRosa's coaching this team, by the way. And by the way, Andy Pettitte is the pitching coach for the USA this year. He was supposed to coach this team before, and the COVID pandemic ended that. This isn't a bad uniform. I think USA is a little bit big. This is a little much with the S for me. The hat, the flag's a little big on the hat. And I think they could have made this a little more understated. Nicaragua, it doesn't get more boring than what they're wearing here. It's probably going to match their play. A lot going on with Italy's uniform here, too. I don't like the fact the helmet doesn't match the jerseys either. I'm not a big fan of that. Again, I got to take it or leave it. Cuba, I've always liked Cuba's uniforms. This year it's a little bit, Again, just a little bit much for me. Puerto Rico, simple. I don't know what's going on here. This is a bad look right here. you guys can read anything you want into this, but that's a bad look right there in the Puerto Rican jerseys. Keep the comments clean, please. Great Britain. This says Great Britain, doesn't it? Doesn't this uniform just scream Great Britain baseball? Oh, my God. I'm shocked I've talked about uniforms this long, right? Let's see. Did anybody comment while I was doing this? I had to talk about something anyway. I probably lost every viewer we ever had, and I'll never come back, but I want to do something a little different today. So there you go. There's the uniforms for the WBC, your favorite team. Listen, we got viewers. We've got viewers in pretty much every country that I just showed you. Believe it or not, our demographics, we got a lot of viewers in Great Britain. We got some viewers in Panama, in the Dominican, certainly in Canada. I don't have anybody in China. I do, I think, 2 viewers in China. There's viewers in Korea, Mexico. So, again, and Netherlands. So I've got viewers like in all of these areas. So I don't want to offend anybody with my comments, but some of those uniforms are great. Some are not so great. When you get watching, you'll know who you're looking at. And the USA, as I said, will debut tomorrow on Fox. I believe, I think they're playing at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be looking for some of that. If you're looking for fantasy baseball tips, this probably isn't a place to come because I had a horrible year last year. Rick, if you're still with me, I know you're not going to be there tomorrow, and I know Drew's got your list. I am going to be doing it remotely because I am not comfortable sitting around a table full of guys and hacking my head off all day or wearing a mask. So neither one of those things was going to be an option for me. So, guys, this might be a short show today. If you guys don't have any comments, I'm going to take a look through my little cheat sheet here and see if there's a little bit more news we might want to chat about. Oh, listen, I didn't talk about this. Big news out of L.A. this last couple of weeks was Gavin Lux being out for the year. You know, Gavin Lux being out for the year is not going to cause them to win 70 games. Sorry, this is still a talented baseball team. But the infield is a little shaky for the Dodgers, as we talked about. Let's take a little look at their depth chart right now since we're talking about it. Gavin Lux him missing the entire season is going to put a big. Hang on. All right. Anyway, it's going to put a big speed bump in front of them for their plans this year, but this is still a good baseball team. You look around the infield, you got Freddie Freeman. Any team Freddie Freeman's on is going to be competitive. You got Miguel Vargas at second base. You got Max Muncy at third base. Not going to hit a lot, but he's going to get on base a ton. He can play a lot of positions for you fantasy guys. I've had him on my fantasy team a lot over the years, and certainly a valuable guy who can play a bunch of positions once he qualifies. We'll see whether Vargas, an offseason acquisition, is going to be helpful for them, or Miguel Rojas, another guy that they weren't counting on playing every day. But now Rojas and Vargas are going to have to step up and be major contributors to this team. The outfield right now, you got David Peralta starting in left field, Chris Taylor and Mookie Betts. JD Martinez will be the DH. That's not the strength of this team. The strength of this team is its pitching. Clayton Kershaw may be getting a little long in the tooth, but he still can pitch. When he's healthy, he's as good as anybody in the league. Urias is a really good pitcher. Needs to stay healthy. Gonsolin needs to stay healthy. Had a really good year last year. Dustin May hurt a lot last year. Noah Syndergaard, I think he pitched better than a lot of people think he pitched last year. I think this guy now is a couple years removed from his arm surgery, and he may be ready to take a step forward here. He'll be the 5th starter, and this team will go as far as their starting pitching, and this bullpen takes them. Daniel Hudson will start the season off as the closer. So the Dodgers have some question marks, definitely, but this team is not a 70-win team. Those of you who think they are, and you're going to talk about the Padres might win this division and they may make the playoffs, but the Padres are going to have to show me that they've got some chemistry that they can take to the field with them and get them through the tough times. And I'm a little concerned what's going to happen when you get these big egos, out there with Xander Bogaerts, Tatis, Soto, who's quiet, but there's an ego there. And Manny's already said, I'm ready to get out of here if we don't get it together this year. So again, are the Dodgers going to be a favorite here? No. Padres will be favored to win this division, but they got a good manager in Dave Roberts, and they've still got some talented guys on this team. Do not count them out. So I'm glad we saw that. What else? I want to get into prospects. Talked about Bader. I don't know. What else you guys got for me? Got nothing else for me? We'll wrap it up early today because I'm losing my voice. I got to do one more show today at 5 o'clock. We'll be on for our Sunday stream of consciousness on Sunday. And we'll certainly have lots to talk about on Sunday, as we'll have NCAA basketball. We're getting ready for the Selection Sunday. I'll probably be on with Tanner a little bit on Let's Talk Sports on Sunday night, kind of reviewing the selections, health permitted. And we'll have my shows, and we'll be on with Let's Talk Sports at 5 o'clock. So stop back, catch us then. Sorry we haven't been in a little better shape today, guys, so we'll be back and better than ever next week. I can promise you that. Thank you guys. Let's talk Major League Baseball. We'll catch you later.